I relocated to Ireland in 2018. I touched down in Dublin Airport on a rainy Monday morning, and nothing could have prepared me for the scene before me. Yes, I had seen the pictures, yes, I had seen the videos, but I was not prepared for the beautiful lush green fields, the beautiful castles, the beautiful infrastructure in Dublin. And from that rainy Monday morning, my life has never been the same. In 2020, I was working as a healthcare assistant in a nursing home, and that is when the pandemic hit. This was the time when Ireland was facing one of its hardest times in history, and I was an essential worker at the time. One thing that was clear to me during that difficult time was that Ireland needed me just as she needed every other essential worker. And I worked right up until those doors were open, those regulations were lifted. I didn't work out of need for money. I could have found a different job. I could have found a fully remote job. But I worked because I felt a sense of responsibility and a sense of duty to this country that I was living in. In the midst of everything that was going on in the pandemic, in the midst of all its devastating effects, something was clear to me. COVID taught me something very important. It showed me the beauty that is in the Irish community. I saw people do their utmost best to adhere to government regulations. I saw people help strangers that they don't speak too often. They helped neighbors, elderly neighbors, with shopping. They checked up on them telephonically. They built these little bubbles that essentially helped those who were vulnerable during the pandemic. However, helping each other is typical of the Irish. It is in the way they hold the door for the next person in the shopping mall. It is in the way they wave at each other if it's a pedestrian and somebody driving when they cross the street. It's just a small wave, but a sign of appreciation for stopping. This is an Irish passport. It looks like a normal passport, like every other passport. But the Irish passport is ranked among the 5 strongest passports in the world. And guess what? I own one. In June 2024, I officially became an Irish citizen. I remember when that email came through congratulating me that I was eligible to attend the citizenship ceremony. I was ecstatic. I remember when we were driving to the ceremony, I kept saying to my husband, drive with caution, drive with caution. Even though I was racing to the most amazing moment in my life, I still wanted to arrive there alive. When we pledged fealty to the nation of Ireland, I got so emotional. Little old me had made it. Owning an Irish passport allows me visa-free entry to 189 countries. I can also move if I wanted to, which I don't think we will. I can also live and work in another EU state. And when I go to another EU country, I don't need anything special. I don't need any visas for that. Living and working in Ireland gave me the possibility of owning my own home. And in 2021, that dream became a reality. In 2021, me and my husband purchased our first home. And it was such a beautiful, surreal moment. It is not always possible to buy your own home in other countries due to unstable economies and other issues. Ireland, however, provided that stability. And with sheer hard work and savings, my husband and I finally purchased our first home. Once we bought our first home, we knew that we were no longer just passing through. We now had roots here, and this was now our home. I remember the first days when we moved into our home and we had no appliances. And my husband and I, we made these potato crisps because the only appliance we had was an air fryer. And we made these potato crisps from potatoes. And those chips were awful. Like they had an awful taste. They were burnt. But I remember sitting in our living room where we had no couch, sitting on the floor, eating these burnt potato crisps. And I had never felt so happy. I had never felt so peaceful in my life. And that little picture, that little scene right there could have remained a dream, but Ireland made it possible. If you ever consider moving to Ireland, don't let the grey skies intimidate you. Ireland is rich in culture. There are beautiful sceneries and there's a thriving social life. But Ireland's true treasure lies in its beautiful people. My name is Satini and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider subscribing. I share videos about my life here in Ireland. Bye-bye.